Remember when I said that FlyQuest didn't lose off of mechanical misplay versus T1? They lost off of the fact that T1 can take a mechanical misplay and play macro well and pressure it and close out. This game was TES inting. This series was confidently TES inting. And we'll just look at the dive clip and we'll say that that summarizes the horrific parts of the series. And we'll try to focus on positive things because I do try to focus on positive things. And I do think G2 played well. Like, you can't have an either or, right? It's where you can't have an either or where, oh, this team griefed, but this team couldn't possibly play well. The series was just lost because this team griefed. No, I mean, both happened for sure. It was just slightly more in the side of TES griefing. But, like, okay, they're basically full HP, all sums, right? Uh, Tien, like, in theory, okay. So, in theory, like, I kind of get the idea, right? If you CC lock someone with, like, Darvin Renata combo, like the knock up and the snare, then maybe you can like two shot them with Draven, right? Like that's potential. Like there's potential there. The problem is that Braum is always gonna get E up. Braum is always gonna Q someone, and if like you can't, cause like he's not like Mickey X is not so handless that he's not going to react, right? Like it's he's not so handless that he's not going to react. And they're like, oh, okay, we forced him to burn the shield, so, like, we need to go now, right? So, in theory, like, okay, this makes sense. We're doing that. They have no Guardian. They have no Brahmi. But just, like, watch how this plays out. There's no way this works. Like, there's no universe, ever. So, they pop the heal here, so now they're actually full HP. The wave's almost dead as well. Not that it matters here, because you're basically tanking off of that. Tian misses, so Mako is tanking, which is problem number one. Problem number two, holy fuck. If Hans didn't flash, this would have connected. But because it doesn't connect, he doesn't get the damage, he doesn't get the turret aggro. Mako gets the turret aggro. And then he's still tanking. He has to use bailout here. There's no fucking way that they're going to get an execute off of this bailout, by the way. There's just no universe. Walk back in. They also are not accounting for, if you look minimap, both lanes are pushed out. Both like this solo has TP, obviously Broken Blade does not. So you have to take into that account. But I mean, like, he has flash, man. Bro, like, I don't understand. Why are we doing this? Do we think they're just not gonna press their buttons? Like, there should be no universe where this connects. And then you get this follow up at the same time. Chain CCing on the target. Jockey Love for sure called this dive. I mean, you know that, like, you can also just go back and see this draft. There. There it is, right there, the Draven first pick. What the fuck is that? Explain. Explain to me, I don't understand. And I think it's very funny because it's just... It's almost predictable in a way. Because I knew, like, this would be an issue, right? Where it's like, okay, Cream's literally picking two chaps, right? That's gonna happen. I understand. So now that we're on the draft, since I did want to talk a bit about drafts, so I think drafts is definitely one of the things that were just straight up complete outplay. But if you're looking at this, like, okay, I get it. Like, we're banning Zach, Poppy. So those are like surface level G2 target bans based on, yeah, I watched the T1 series and the PSG series. That makes sense. Like, the Poppy thing for me, yes. Making X's Poppy is insane. But also loses a lot of power if you're picking, like, double range with no dash. Double long range with no dash. Like, let's stay on the edge, but the Varus is still pickable. A lot of these factors. The Zac ban I think is good because Zac just actually enables G2 so much. If you watch their games, Zac ban diagnosis is very good, but it's like a lot of these bans feel super reactive to MSI series only and not necessarily like a good diagnosis of the team and what lost you the previous game. And instead we're just slamming the B1 Draven because we can't be losing to these European shitters, man. I can't do it. It's too bad. Can't lose these European shitters, man. pick me Draven. But they can pick Braum Draculove. I don't care, fuck it. Pick Draven. I'll show these fucking European shitters. That's exactly what's happening right now. Then they pick Braum. Like, the Braum blind is actually wild, though. Like, I would expect the Braum to be on 3. Like, it's crazy to me that you could just pick Braum like this, and your reward is they pick 2 more auto attack traps. What? That's like the second pick Vayne. This is second pick Vayne all over again, guys. If you guys remember second pick Vayne. Second pick Vayne was a classic. For those of you who don't understand the second pick Vayne reference, it was like when people were first picking Ziggs and LNG just straight up slammed 1-2 Vayne. And I was like, there's no way this is good. And then they 4-5 Leona Ornna. I'm just like, alright, man. It's like some sick mind control. That's exactly what this is. This is like early pick Braum. And the best thing you can do is pick Renata into it. But then, like, the 4-5 bends, I think the Ivern makes sense. Like, also, I don't know why you don't just slam the Trist. Like, at this point, you have to know that Trist is your best pick. I think their thought process is, like, if they go Trist here into Braum blind, then Corki is actually a little bit better because you do, like, some poke damage, and you can force him to use shield for, like, poke and still have a lot more poke, whereas Tristana, your all-in gets, like, super fucked by Braum. So I get that, but also, like, Trist has just been super OP for not just TES, but a lot of people in the tournament. So, yeah, I'm surprised that they pick Corki when they have the option. And I do like the Jarvan, but again, Jarvan into Braum, like, you're picking melee auto attacker into Braum. But I do like the idea of picking it into Kog'Maw here. I think it's good. I think, but I think it, like, looking at the draft holistically, like, you can see why they went Corki Jarvan, right? Given the pools that they had and these picks. But also, this is what we're picking into Braum blinds. Is just very funny. And then you go Tristana. So, like, what would be better options, right? I think you can still pick Trist. I think it's fine. I think you want to go, like, something AP jungle, or if possible, like, you can even go Corki here. Like, I actually think Corki is pretty good in, Ivern here. Like, I think Ivern's good into Braum. Like, there's no way Tien plays it, but still, like, it's an option. I wouldn't mind, like, a Lilia or something. Because you need long-range engage. And you need poke damage that will, like, force out Braum. And something that, like, if they're going Braum, you know that they at least one element of engage that they'll have is down. And you can plan to, like, blind the Cassandra here, because they most likely will pick jungle here every time. And if you're going something like a Lilia Trist or something like that, I feel like you're better off. Always blame the coach, guys. Like, at the end of the day, just that's the hack for life. Just always fucking blame the coach. It's literally in the contract. When I sign it to coach a team, the fine print says, when shit goes wrong, you're the first one fired. That's just how it is. Just accept it. And will be it. That exactly, like, that was the thing. Like, Emily was on Twitter saying, ultimately I predicted G2. It's like, well, we did, but also, like, that's one of those things that drives me nuts, though, is like when people will say they predicted XY to win, and then their reasoning is completely fucked. It's like, yeah, okay, they're geniuses. Like, definitely, I can say that I thought there was, like, a really strong chance G2 would win, but I was completely wrong on how they would win, right? I'm happy to own that. Like, that's good. How they won was pretty lit. Like, I think targeting bot is good. Like, having the confidence to target bot is versus TS makes a lot of sense. Like, Tien, the game plan was literally do not consider control, do not do jungle tracking, do not think about what the other jungler is doing, do not give a fuck, just turtle and, like, hope for the best. I don't know, that's how it felt so many times this series. Like, they didn't use their advantage lanes for meaningful things. I think the cancel of the port here was good, right? And the fact that he tried to be bot, but realistically speaking, Yike could have been bought way faster. He could have been bought on this wave. Like, they don't know for sure. Well, they do know because they have a ward. Never mind. But he could have dropped the Drake and been bought. And just, like, hustled bot here really fast. And then there's no play. There's no way to stop that. Realistically speaking, what you would want to do, and we can maybe talk about this in the next game, is you would want to hover your mid and basically go bot here. I think that's probably the best play. Like, you can't contest the Drake, but you can use it to farm your bot camps, which are up. Like, he wants to be bot. Like, look at this position on the map and the minimap. Tian wants to be bot here because his camps are up. So he doesn't really want to show top here. He only shows top, cancels the port because of the, like, dive threat, right? And the Drake, etc. But he wants to be bot. If he goes through mid first, so let's show the timer he has. He gets his grump. Let's say he goes through, he goes and hovers mid here because he knows that his mid is going to contest this next wave. Then this play never happens. Or if it does, then there's nothing that can occur from it because he's hovering mid. They've pushed this wave out, and then you can go bot side, clear your bot camps, and protect any potential bot dive. That would be the way you'd have to play it if you're turtling properly, or if you're considering like what enemy jungle will do. Because you should also know that enemy jungle bot camps are up. And so everything that's going to happen is going to happen bot side of the map. The fact that you have like a mid with an advantage, but he can't necessarily get prio for free. Like, you have to be pressuring this. That's why G2 are pressuring it. That's why Broken Blade's gonna port to this. Because they know that this is where the pressure has, this is where you have to play. Because all the action is going to happen bot. And the only way that TES can do anything on this sequence is if their mid gets involved. Because their bot is like so behind that it's disgusting. So 369 push out this all the way. And now G2 are in a pressured map state where their bot wave needs to be fixed, right? Caps has to hop away. He's relatively low HP. He obviously will sustain back up because he has Vamp Scepter. He probably, and Fleet, but he has to get this wave. Suddenly 369 has Giga Timer and G2 has to fix this. So this is like the ideal time to TP. Because you also have Cassante showing top side, pushed out all the way, and you have wards here and here. Bear heads up. So this is like the perfect situation because you're also in a spot where you're still winning side versus Triss somehow. If Triss gets like LDR, that's not going to happen anymore. But I feel like he takes way too long to TP because this would be the perfect time to start channeling, I think. As soon as this happens, you channel. I think he's afraid that Triss will just like run, drop the wave, and cancel. But I think if Triss runs, drops the wave, and cancel, then he still has to fix this wave. And you still have like a favorable map state where Udyr can run mids. Because if Triss is dropping this wave, the map is still good for you, right? Like the main point of this play is yes to win the fight, but also because the map state is like this for G2 and the wave bot is fucked. That's like the main point of this play. So you also want to be in position where you're TPing like super proactively, super ahead because caps will match. So you are looking for like an ideal position to TP from, and this is like an ideal position because Broken Blade, like we're not fixing this positioning. Like Broken Blade is like very committed here. But instead he waits for Mako engaged TP, or something. I don't know what he's waiting for. I'm like a little confused because I thought maybe he was just getting far away from Triss to channel the TP, but now the wave is cleared, right? Okay, so never mind. This play is shit. This is a shit play from TES. The first time I watched it, I was like, okay, this is TES on their normal shit, right? Like, something good will happen. But he waited way too long to TP. Like, what is this? Like, they don't even have to be here. They're all down here now, and Trish just got the wave. So what is this? I don't know what's happening, man. I'm so confused. There has to be something I'm missing. He waits so long to TP. He's just standing here. This is a way worse position to TP into, no? This was so much better. Because they're split? Broken Blade is pushed way forward here. So is Mickey X. But then you wait until this moment where they're all together. You can't see all of them either anymore. You only see these three. I don't know. Maybe he thinks it's good because they're like contesting ward on the spots, and he can get long flank. But I feel like this TP position is just so much better. So that's enough complaining about TSG2. To be honest, we did a lot of it. I think G2 like did play well. Like this was a good reaction from them. I think Broken Blade played this fight insanely well. I think TS reacted to it poorly, but Broken Blade played this fight like really well and saved it. And Ivern plus Cassante is actually a broken combo. Like, why do people stop playing this champ, guys? Like, please explain to me why people stop playing Ivern. I still don't understand. This champ has just always just been broken, and has basically been untouched other than this and this since he was buffed. So why did people stop picking it? Someone explain this to me. Like, I don't understand. I'm so confused. I mean, it'll be very interesting. I don't think T1 will be TL will beat T1, but it would be very fun if we had like all 1 seeds in top 4. I would like that. That would be cool. I would enjoy that. I think that would make League really fun for people